This week's episode is brought to you by Campaign Refinery, an amazing new email marketing automation tool. Look, in the world of digital marketing, there's a lot to keep track of. We all know this. As much as we're in love with social media and the power of social conversation here at Social Inc. and on the All About Digital Marketing podcast, we are well aware at just how powerful email marketing can be. Email marketing is not dead. In fact, it's never been more important to help you leverage your presence everywhere else into the one channel that you'll own, regardless of what changes Facebook, Twitter, or any other platform makes in the future. I've known the founder, Travis Ketchum, for years, and he's been a past guest on the podcast, episode 15 if you want to listen to it. I've personally used his other products before, and they've been fantastic. The amount of thought that he's put into each and every one of what he's created has been incredible. I'd highly encourage you to try their free 14-day trial at campaignrefinery.com to see what world-class email marketing automation can do for you and your business. Massive thank you to Travis and Campaign Refinery for their support of the All About Digital Marketing show. Welcome to the All About Digital Marketing podcast. The show all about
digital marketing.
Digital marketing.
Digital marketing.
Digital marketing.
Brought to you by Social Inc., a digital marketing agency specializing in social media and content marketing for brave brands and forward-thinking SMEs. I'm your host, Chris Bruno, and as always, we're here to bring you the most actionable tips, tricks, tools, and insights to help you achieve more when it comes to your digital marketing. Subscribe to the show and be sure to share with a friend if you found something useful or interesting. You can find all the show notes and more information on www.allaboutdigitalmarketing.co.uk. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the All About Digital Marketing podcast. We're now well into November. It's 2020, which has been a crazy year to say the least. We're currently on lockdown in the UK, so are some of the other European countries and others around the world. Things have definitely been challenging. So what we're talking about today is a little bit about what we can do and what we can look forward to maybe in 2021. But more importantly, how can we start planning our marketing for next year? The concept of this is pretty simple. No one knows for sure what next year is going to look like. I think we can all agree that online, digital, any kind of interaction with our customers that happens on the internet is a good thing today. It's helped a lot of people stay in touch with their customers, with their suppliers, with other stakeholders within their business. But more importantly, it's allowed a lot of us to continue to work from home, to create these new income opportunities, but more importantly, to adapt to this ongoing development towards digital marketing, online presence, e-commerce, or any of the other online methods that we use now to interact. Something that can be very hard for a lot of retail businesses, especially bricks and mortar or more traditional business models, is finding ways to help them actually transition towards this online culture. And that's something that I really wanted to talk about today. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that this year has been insane. We didn't know this was going to happen. Nobody pre-saw or could see what was going to actually end up happening. And we're in November and we're still not through the crux of all of this. This means today that no matter who we are or what we want to do, we do need to focus our efforts on having that online interaction with our customers. If 2021 has any kind of fire break lockdowns or circuit breaker lockdowns, whatever you want to call them, or if in any way, shape or form we find ourselves not being able to be out and about as usual, not being able to open our retail stores, what are we going to do and how are we going to support our customers and more importantly ourselves by keeping our businesses going? These are some of the ways that we've helped businesses over the last, I'd say, 8 to 10 months since the first coronavirus apparitions happened and the first lockdown that we had back in March. We've helped businesses go from not just focusing on one product or a particular product, but to also open up subscription and online membership to a community sense, a community feel for their business. We've helped small retailers go towards an e-commerce angle. We're currently trying to help an independent retailer, bricks and mortar business, to create a monthly subscription package that also has a community aspect and a weekly feel to his communication, a weekly community aspect to what they're trying to do. We've helped big utility services providers go from normal forms and PDFs required to be handed in or sent back in by mail through to e-signature systems so that they can have everything for their clients to be done online and simply signed electronically. Now, all of these different things I'm talking about and we're trying to help give an idea of the various different ways in which we can help customers to actually have a better experience with who they want to work with. This is what's important. Digital marketing is often thought of as being the social media posts or the fancy graphics or that cool video you make. But actually, the majority of what we need to focus on today is how do we make that customer experience as frictionless as possible, and even more importantly, as online as possible. That's the key that we're really trying to figure out here. When we look at a different business, each business, again, has its own unique angles, its own unique way of dealing with things, or it has its own systems in place as to how they want to do business as usual. 2020 has taught us that, if anything, business as usual just doesn't exist anymore. Everything is changing, and it's changing rapidly. The one thing that has stayed constant throughout all of this, though, is that everybody has had continued access to the internet, and they have an ability to choose where they shop, what they buy, how they order online, or who they work with and how. This is something that's really important. Let's take the example of an independent wine retailer. They want their business to be an experience. They want their customers to come in and to feel something when they're being part of a conversation about wines, or when they're asking what would go well with this pairing, or what would be nice to have with a meal of X. There's a real sense of a one-to-one there. Now, with lockdowns happening, it's clear to see that that's going to become harder and harder. But that said, what would stop that independent wine retailer, for example, from having one-to-one 15-minute sessions available for clients that are already within his database, already within his customer list, and also that would allow the customer, after having had that one-to-one conversation for 15 minutes online, to then be able to order the wine that he wants or she wants for free delivery to that local area? Can we localize e-commerce? Can we find ways as independent retailers to really support the people who usually support you? One of the hardest things to understand is that people will do things because it's easy. We're inherently lazy as a species, unfortunately. I'm the first one to put my hand up and admit that. But if I've got the option of clicking to order something and it'll be delivered within a day or two, or having to think about where I would go, get in the car, drive somewhere, and then to pick something up, chances are I'm going to go with delivery. But that said, I want to support as many small businesses as I can. And in fact, I will go to my independent wine retailer in my town to make sure that he's still there when we get out of this and when next year comes around. How can businesses help the customers who want to support them by giving them that option and that ease to be able to just dive right in? Your digital strategy doesn't necessarily need to be about putting every single item you have in your shop onto a website so that you can do e-commerce and then desperately trying to flog Facebook adverts to get rid of some of the stuff that you're trying to sell. That's not necessarily the way to go. But what I would say is hugely important is going to be that actually, as a small independent retail store, no matter what business you're in, collecting email addresses, encouraging your users to follow you on Facebook or to find your Instagram page, to keep in touch so they can see what you're doing. That's going to play a huge part in the future. Emails especially. From that, once you've got those email addresses, once you've got that audience, you can then start to look at ways of testing localizing your e-commerce, of creating a couple of different products, maybe some of your better selling products or products that are relevant to the times that are coming up. So for example, with Christmas around the corner, you might just offer some of the Christmas gift ideas and offer that with free delivery to the local area and even a gift wrapping service for people that aren't going to be able to necessarily be with their loved ones or be able to get presents to friends or anything else in the local area. There are ways to make sure that you can test, try out, figure out what works and what doesn't without having necessarily to spend a huge amount of money. Using tools like Squarespace, which will allow you to build a very simple e-commerce website for next to nothing, and I think the membership costs about £100 a year, will allow you to test this theory. It'll allow you to get in touch with those people who have supported and do buy from you and give them a chance to continue to support you with just a few tweaks from your side. If you're doing localized free deliveries and you can deliver to 1 or 2 postcodes within your local area, you'll find that people will try to support you. People want to support local and independent businesses. We want them to be there when we come out of this, and we like the fact that we can go into an independent store which is a little bit different and that allows us to pick up that gift that has that little touch of uniqueness. All of those things disappear if independent retailers aren't still around. So the real question about your strategy for 2021 shouldn't be how are you going to market, or what are you going to market, or what products those might be, or what offers you might be giving. It should be focusing on exactly how you can make that process frictionless for any of your customers. If the retail store comes back and it comes back booming, I'm so happy. I really am. But what happens if there's another lockdown, if there's anything else that perturbs the way that we work and live again in 2021, how is your business going to survive, and what can you do to make that happen and start implementing that change today? I know it's a lot to take in, and as part of this, Social Inc. is doing everything they can to try and help as many businesses as possible. Over on our website, you can get a 60-minute, completely free, no sales pitch consultation, and we'll be happy to try and point you in the right direction or come up with some ideas of how you can increase that community feel to your customers and help build up their support to help you through these next few weeks, possibly longer. If you'd like to do that, all you need to do is run over to www.socialinc.co, that's ink.co, and you can literally book in for free there and then. We understand that these next few weeks are going to be tough. Nobody knows exactly how long it's going to last. Nobody can even be sure of what happens next or what's going to happen next year. But one thing's for sure, making some form of an online platform for your customers to be able to interact with you and help support you, that's never going to do you any harm, regardless of if life comes back to the way it was or if it's completely different in the future. Find ways to help create that connection online as frictionlessly as possible with your customers, and you'll be sure to be rewarded in the long run. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. And again, please don't hesitate to contact us if you're struggling.
The All About Digital Marketing podcast is brought to you by Social Inc., a distributed digital marketing agency specialized in delivering results through online campaigns. Whether it's content marketing, social media marketing, online advertising, or web design, we've got you covered, from strategy through to delivery. If you're struggling with your digital marketing, get in touch today by simply visiting www.socialinc.co.